Hi guys, Amber D here with how to DJ, and in this tutorial I'm going to be giving you a few handy hints on how to use MixMeister to help you to get your tracks in an order that you might want to play in a set. Primarily this is a tutorial to show you how to use different techniques in which to keep the energy of a full set. So one of the ways that I've done it through the years is I've used this thing called MixMeister. MixMeister came in useful for me probably about 10 years ago when I started doing a lot of radio shows, and I had to have a lot of mixes done each week in order to keep up with demand from my radio shows on iTunes, DI FM, Slinky FM, and my own ones as well that I used to put out on podcasts, etc., plus also doing my own DJ demos and things like that. Excuse me. So that's where it comes in very, very useful. It's also useful to help you to get your tracks into a certain type of order in order to keep the momentum, keep the energy in between your transitions. So here I've opened up MixMeister and I'm going to add a list of an entire folder of files. If you guys do want to know any more on using this, by the way, let me know and I shall do some more tutorials on it in the group. So if I just go into, I've set up a folder on my desktop. Excuse me. Here we are. So in here I have selected a few tracks that I've used recently in a set, and basically I'm going to take 6 of them and I'm going to put those 6 into an order just how I normally would do it. So I'm going to use, I'm going to delete a few of these. How many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I need to get rid of a few more. Let's get rid of that one and that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get rid of that one. Right then, so I know that I like each of these tracks quite well, but I know that they're going to all go best in a certain order, which is usually the order of energy or hardness, or you know, just so that it's got somewhere where the set has started and it's got somewhere where the set has finished, which makes sense. You want to be able to tell a story with it as well. I mean, this is a lot more obvious in genres such as progressive trance, the old sort of style, Sasha and Digweed sort of stuff, but it's completely possible to do that in whatever your chosen genre to DJ is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add them to this playlist down here and have a little listen to them all. So I'm just going to add them one by one in no particular order at the moment. They're just going in blind. Obviously I know that I like these tracks, but I've not really listened to them in context of like how they're going to sound energetically. So, and I'm going to set tempo 146 and just delete these. Like I said, I will go into what I'm doing here at a later date with regards to these tempo markers. If any of you are interested in learning more about using MixMeister, I have used it now for over 10 years. So that would say really that it's probably something that you might want to look at. Right then, so We've got Digital Kid, get it higher, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to now go through these and do exactly what I usually do in order to determine which tracks I think are going to stay in which order. Okay, so bear with me. What I usually do to begin with is I listen to the probably around about third way mark of the track, or a quarter of the way in, should I say, where the bass will kick in, just to check and see what the energy's like at that point of each particular track. They're all quite high energy tracks, but I can definitely tell that a few of them are more high energy than others. At the moment, I feel like this one, this third one here, in effect, it's got more of a groove to it, and because it's got more of a groove to it, it's not so 4/4 or on the offbeat. It would probably deserve to be nearer the front or the beginning of the mix. So I'll change that up here. And I'm going to keep going through in that sort of, with that sort of technique in mind. So this is my first one at the moment. That one's quite a high, intense, energetic track. So I am going to put that probably quite near the back. So I'm going to put that near the back at the moment. And that is, it's quite an older track as well, so it will probably need being a little bit higher in volume as well, but it's also not as energetic as. So I'm going to put that nearer to the beginning and carry on the solo. Probably move that to there, and that's got quite a groove to it as well, so I'll probably keep that nearer to the, well, that's at the halfway mark, so that should be okay. And I'm probably going to put that one there. So let's have a listen through to my first draft of the order that I think best suits it energetically to have these tunes in, if you know what I mean. Let's have a listen. Quite yet. I think this one here is a bit more energetic than Keep On Dancing, so I'm going to put that there and carry on listening through. That seems a bit more like that's in the order of energy that I would usually put my mixes into. So the next thing I'm going to do now, this is the fun bit, is I'm going to take the marker here, and what this program does is it clicks or snaps to the first beat of the first bar, and it allows me to very quickly know whether or not a mix is going to sound good or not, without having to burn it to a CD or stick it on a USB stick and then physically go to my setup, my decks, and mix them together to find that answer out. So it allows me very quickly to know whether or not I'm in the right ballpark with regards to making my set stand out as a set, or whether or not it's just going to sound like a normal basic set, really, or, you know, not be that exciting. And we don't want that. We want to be exciting, especially in this day and age. So I've grabbed my marker. I will go, like I said, I will go into more detail on how to use this program if you would like me to. So this is just to show how to use this program in order to work out whether or not these tracks are going to go well with each other. First of all, it's very easy to use, and it is a wicked program to use as well. And you can also render these down and use them as mixes as well. So it's all good. I'd say that mix sounds quite good. It keeps the energy very well, and it creates, you know, a different, something new has happened, and it's gone from a quite a straight groovy track into a more sort of bendy groovy track. So yeah, it's created a nice transition from one track to the next. Also, as you can tell, the at the point where the bass comes out, which is here in track one, in effect, it's the same point as when the bass comes in on a Digital Kid Keep Dancing. That's usually the best place to bring in and out a track. It's not the best place all of the time. Sometimes it's really good to do a really early mix and have the bass clashing almost, or just doing a bass kill whenever you feel, or a bass swap, should I say, whenever you feel, you know, ready to do it, or whenever it feels like it would be better to do it. This is just a quick, easy way of finding the best possible place for you to mix from. So that one's really good. So you get the general idea now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to very quickly go through the rest using this technique. I'm not going to talk through it because it will make the video really long. So I'm just going to put these all together, and then we'll just summarize at the end. Okay. actually, I will stop for 1 second and explain with this track here. This the bass in this one seems to go all the way to the end, which is fine. It just means that I'm going to have to do a manual bass swap, which I'd normally do anyway on a mixer. But if you wanted to do it in MixMeister, you just basically press B and create these little anchor points, and you can kill the bass at whatever point that you want to. Okay, as you were. These two don't seem to want to go together whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is look at what my next track is here, and it's called Get It Higher. So if I look over here actually as well, you can have a look at the key. It's not always good to always rely on this, but I can see here now that A minor, that this one, Feel the Panic, which I'm trying to get the other track, this one, G sharp minor, to go into. Get It Higher is actually in the same key, so I might have more of a chance of allowing that to go in there. And it may work a little bit better, so let's try and see if that works instead. So where were we? We've got... Still not convinced with that one. See, it's weird, isn't it? Sometimes even when it says that it's in the same key, it really doesn't seem to be working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off those bass markers again, and I'm going to try and find the point in this first track where the bass does naturally come out, and I think it's round about here. So very near to the end of the track, so I'm going to just put it here, and I'm going to put you here, because this is where the bass does kick in on the other track. If you do want to mute or solo the other tracks, you can do. So the bass comes in there, and this one where it's starting to come out, and then it is out here. So let's see what this sounds like. have it. We found a matching we found a matching mix, a mix that works. So I'm going to keep that as it is, and I'm going to hope now that my next track that I thought had more energy in it actually does still go into the next one and get it higher. I am pretty sure that it will do, because they're all quite high energy tracks. So the main thing is that we didn't have two tracks that didn't sound right musically, but kept the energy and indeed increased it wherever we possibly can. So I'm going to do the next. How many tracks is it? I've got two more. We've got two more tracks to do, so I'm just going to rush through these, and then we'll summarise at the end. So that works quite well. Obviously, when you were mixing and you know that this has got this little cut here, you'll be able to account for that by using your crossfader. In MixMeister, you just press V, and then that just is a volume cut. So that would sound like. And there we go. So that is 6 tracks mixed together, keeping the energy, and also musically, they've kept themselves musical. So let's have a quick run through. That's mix 1, mix 2. So that's mix 1, mix 2, and then mix 3. That's mix 3, mix 4. And mix 5. So there you have it. There's a quick and easy way of checking whether or not your tracks are in the right order well before you need to burn them onto CD or get onto the decks. It just saves time. It helps you to create much better mixes as well than doing them in real time, because it gives you a visual prompt. I think at this stage, as you have all come so far with the course so far, you are entitled to know about these sorts of things and use them as well, because you'll be able to use them from a place of knowing how to do it the hard way, so to speak. So yeah, there you go. I hope that's been useful. If you'd like me to do any more tutorials on the use of MixMeister and all its other functions, then just let me know. Okay, bye. Mwah.